Thanks for checking out the X-Dome 1 Plus. This tent is amazing. It's a generously sized one-person tent based on our unique X-Mood floor plan to create an ultralight, fully freestanding one-person tent with unprecedented stormworthiness, spaciousness, and simplicity. Let's check it out. The X-Dome 1 Plus is a remarkably light tent with a weight under 1 kilo or about 2 pounds, but it's also a seriously sturdy tent thanks to the geometry, the high-strength fabrics, and the design of the carbon fiber pole set. You don't have to believe us though, because everybody's going to say their tent is sturdy, so rather than just tell you about it, we're going to actually show you. So to get an idea of the strength of the X-Dome, we can compare it to what you would see in a typical ultralight tent. It doesn't matter too much what this model is, it's just a representative example of typical performance. And to figure out how strong these tents are, we can just get a rough idea by looking at how much weight they can support on the roof of the tent. So for this tent, what we can do is we can take a 2-liter bottle of water, weighs 2 kilos or about 4 pounds, and see if the tent can support that. So with this tent, you can support one of those bottles of water on the top of the tent. If you try to add a second one, it can't do it. The tent's just gonna collapse like that. So whereas with the X-Dome, putting a bottle of water on the tent's no problem. You can add 2 bottles, you can add 3 bottles, you can even add 4 of these bottles of water on top of the tent, so it has about triple the strength of this other tent. In addition, the X-Dome allows you to add your trekking poles to further support the structure of the tent for seriously windy conditions like Iceland or Patagonia. You'll probably never need to do this, but if you're in crazy conditions, the option is there. So there are a few other tents that allow you to add trekking poles to support the pole structure, but when they do that, they put them vertically like this, which is great for vertical loads like snow loads, but it's not as helpful for horizontal loads like wind because those 2 poles can still deflect. With the X-Dome, we're taking this to the next level where the trekking poles connect not only to the top peaks of the tent, but they also anchor to the bottom of the tent so they can support the sidewall of the tent from deflection, and they are opposing so they're strong both vertically and horizontally. It's a much more robust structure that essentially completes the crossbar of the tent into a third crazy strong arc of the tent that essentially gives you a 4-season level performance pole set in one of the lightest one-person tents on the market. Again though, you don't have to just take our word for it, we'll show you. So most ultralight tents can support 5 to 10 pounds on the roof. The best ones like the X-Dome can support about 20 pounds or 10 kilos on the roof. And then with these trekking pole supports, you can go way higher. You could easily take a 40-pound backpack, set it on the roof of the tent. You can go quite a bit higher than that. It really is insanely strong. The sturdiness of the X-Dome is exceptionally good, but most of the time what really matters isn't the outright strength of the tent, but what we call practical stormworthiness, which is how dry, comfortable, and protected the tent keeps you during tough conditions. This is where the X-Dome really excels. First, the X-Dome uses a 100% polyester fly. We've been huge advocates for polyester because it doesn't soak up water and expand like nylon. Polyester stays tight and dries fast, so it is lighter in wet conditions and avoids issues with the fly sagging and sticking to the interior. Another big aspect of the practical stormworthiness is the pitch. The X-Dome uses an external pole set and uniquely simplifies things by having the fly, the poles, and the interior all connect to the same 4 points. This allows the tent to easily pitch in any order. It can pitch interior first on a beautiful summer night, but just as easily pitch fly first to keep the interior dry during setup in the rain. Many other tents will say they can pitch multiple ways, but often it is not a natural way to pitch the tent, so it requires special techniques or extra components you may not have. The X-Dome can quickly and easily pitch in any order, and it can pitch with the fly and interior pre-connected together to save time, or they can pitch separately. However you want to do it, the X-Dome can do it simply and naturally. The X-Dome also has protected doorways, where the crossbar creates an overhang so the doorways can be both tall and overhanging so the interior can be fully open to wet conditions for easy access and ventilation while still keeping out falling rain. The X-Dome also has dual peak vents to reduce condensation, a fly that extends low to the ground to block rain splatter, solid fabric on the interior to block drafts, and a double wall design to separate you from any condensation. Lastly, the interior is a generous size and it has a large vestibule, which makes the X-Dome a very comfortable place to ride out the storm. No other ultralight freestanding tent has all of these protections. Another impressive aspect of the X-Dome is the simplicity and user-friendliness. That starts with the pitch of the tent that we've already mentioned is simple and intuitive, where it can be naturally pitched in any sequence. But more than that, the X-Dome has a true zero-stake pitch, making it 100% freestanding. Of course, you'll normally still use tent stakes so it doesn't blow away, but you can let the conditions determine what stakes you use instead of the tent requiring you to use specific ones. Most other freestanding tents still require staking out the vestibules. You can do that here, but you can also use a trekking pole instead of a stake to establish the vestibule, or you can roll back both sides of the fly door and still have an awning protecting the vestibule area. Another user-friendly aspect of the X-Dome is the large doorways. The doors are tall thanks to the crossbar and wide thanks to the angled zippers. Plus, on both the fly and interior, you can open the smaller side of the door as well to completely open the side of the tent. This gives a huge doorway to get in and out and also allows easy access to the vestibule from inside. Other user-friendly features include the small rectangular footprint, which easily fits onto any tent pad without the vestibules hanging off. It has magnetic door toggles that operate easily one-handed. There's a short reach to close the fly door, dual interior pockets, and the fast dry fabric saves time drying the tent. One of the most remarkable things about the X-Dome 1 Plus is how spacious it is. Other one-person tents are often quite tiny, causing many solo hikers to upsize to a two-person tent, but the X-Dome 1 Plus provides a truly generous amount of space for a solo hiker. With the 1 Plus version of the X-Dome, we've modified our X-Mid floor plan so the floor is expanded to fill the back vestibule. This adds floor space while also saving the weight of a second door and results in a tent that's a palace for a solo hiker and close and interior space to some two-person tents. The floor has a tapered shape that widens from 27 inches at the foot end to 50 inches or 1.3 meters at the head end, giving an average width of almost 40 inches. This provides a lot of extra space that is useful for things like fitting a backpack, extra gear, a dog, or just sprawling out. You can even fit 2 tapered sleeping pads inside. The length of the tent is a generous 85 inches when sleeping straight, and taller hikers have the option to sleep on the diagonal to have an extra long 90-inch floor with steep end walls so the length is very usable. Headroom is also remarkable, with an interior height of 42 inches that is 3 to 5 inches taller than most comparable tents, and the pole set shape and crossbar maintain that headroom over a larger portion of the tent so you can easily sit up anywhere. Lastly, the vestibule is generously sized and easily fits the largest packs and other gear, which is especially handy in tough conditions. Overall, the X-Dome 1 Plus provides unprecedented stormworthiness, spaciousness, and simplicity for the weight. It weighs under 1 kilogram or about 2 pounds, which makes it about the same weight as the lightest freestanding one-person tents on the market, and yet the X-Dome 1 Plus is far more spacious. It's fully freestanding with a true zero-stake pitch, and it's much more stormworthy with a stronger structure, fly-first pitch, non-stake fabric, protected doorways, and so much more. Thanks for checking it out. We'll see you on the trail.